Now, as parents, many will know that getting your child insured is very important. Children do get sick, and it can be quite costly. So what type of insurance should you get for them? Do they need life insurance, or is medical insurance sufficient? We asked an expert at comparison website Ringgit Plus about what parents should know when picking an insurance plan for their children. According to Lucas Oy, Director of Insurance at Ringgit Plus, parents should be looking to get at least a medical card for each child to cover the basics.
I would say the minimum that a parent should be thinking about for their child when it comes down to medical coverage is probably around 150 ringgit a month, if you can afford that. That ensures that your child gets the basic and medical coverage, as well as a little bit of life and critical illness.
When getting a medical card, ask what it covers. It's pretty obvious. The less you pay, the less it covers. So be aware of what you're paying for.
It all comes down to affordability. The most important thing is to get a medical coverage. The cheaper medical cards typically offer less coverage levels than the more expensive ones. So if you can afford the more expensive one, I would suggest going for the one that covers you for any medical issue. The cheaper ones typically have lots of exclusions or a lot of very limited coverage on treatment. So do be aware of this if you can only afford a cheaper medical card. Typically for medical card coverage, two or three important parts of it is the annual limit and the lifetime limit. So annual limit is how much you can claim on the medical card every year, and lifetime is for the lifetime of the policy. The second thing that's important is make sure that the medical card covers for a lot of outpatient benefits. So, if you need to attend hospital for just a day treatment, that is also covered. And the third thing is to ensure that the medical card is not a co-insurance product, because a co-insurance product means that you have to fork up maybe 5–10% of the bill. I think the majority of medical cards now are fully paid rather than co-insurance. Another part that's important for medical coverage is also your room and board. So what this is how much the insurance policy will pay for you to be admitted for each night being in hospital. This will typically range from 150 ringgit a night to 300 or 350. There are other policies that cover for you as charged. So whatever the cost of staying overnight at a hospital, the insurance policy will pay.
Try to get coverage for your child as early as possible. Even if your child seems completely healthy now, they could develop a medical condition later on. And once that happens, purchasing medical insurance won't cover existing health conditions.
If you are diagnosed with a previous illness or a previous critical illness, typically you will not be allowed to, you won't be able to make a claim for the policy. So if you're diagnosed with, say, cancer or with any heart problems, it will be very difficult for you to actually get a policy. So I suggest trying to get medical coverage as early as possible.
Read up on the exclusion list of things that the policy will not cover. For example, self-inflicted wounds and congenital birth defects are some of the things that insurance policies usually won't cover.
For specific parents who are expecting, certain exclusions include how the baby was conceived, such as artificial insemination. Typically, this is not covered under medical coverage.
We asked Lucas this question: what if your employer already covers you and your family with insurance? Which medical card should you use first when you're checking in your child at the hospital? Your employer's insurance or your own personal insurance?
I would probably go with the employer first, but sometimes the employer medical card doesn't cover very high coverage. So the important thing is to know what your employer is covering you for, and then buy additional coverage on top of your employer medical card. You obviously can't claim on both at the same time. for the same issue. However, if one is not enough, you can use the other one to top up the balance of, say, treatment in a hospital.
Insurance coverage can even start even before the child is born, as some insurance policies cover the pregnant mother and unborn child.
There are specific pregnancy or lady care whereby while you're still pregnant, you can purchase additional coverage for your unborn baby. I think this is really important because you never know what's going to happen when you give birth. So it's important to have this coverage if you can afford it, such that if your child is born with an issue or a problem and needs to be admitted early in life, either in a high dependency ward or a intensive care unit, it's important to make sure that you don't struggle to pay for your bills for your child to get covered by the hospital.